Woohoo! I'm live. We're live. Good morning. This is Math 60 Intermediate Algebra 1.1. This is going to be a review. Most of Chapter 1 will be a review. So hopefully all of this is material you already know, but I wanted to go over it just in case everyone needs a refresher. Anyone needs a refresher? There we go. First thing I'm going to say is in the book, so either if you have the book or in the ebook, on right up front, page 3, there's a chart with a lot of translations. If you haven't been doing math in English lately or at all, or if, again, you just need a refresher, we've got language. And the book lists a bunch of different translations. So that could be helpful. I encourage you to take a look at it. I'm going to dive right in and we're going to start some translations because that's the first step towards word problems, which is going to be one of our main foci this semester. So we're going to declare variables. I've got my handy dandy yellow highlighter. Remember to declare variables, and I'm going to show you what that looks like while we're doing it. So my first example says 1/2 of the price. First thing I'm going to do is I need a variable. 1/2, let me get my green. You know what? Green should be the price, so blue. There we go. 1/2 is actually a number. It is a constant, so I don't have to use a variable for that. Use orange for that. Of is actually an operation. It's multiplication. And then I have the price. And when I'm looking at this, I say, oh, the price is actually the thing I don't know. I don't know what the price is. It could be $5 or 2 cents or $1 billion. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, I need a variable for the price. Now, a lot of people like to use X. Given that this class is your transition, this is your refresher in algebra, going a little deeper in algebra, and then moving on towards a lot more algebra, I'm going to encourage you to step away from the use of X. Feel free to use X if you just love X, but like, for example, P is the price is nice because I'll remember P is the price. Again, you can use any variable you want, use any letter, use any character, as long as it is easy to rewrite, is pretty quick, and won't be confused for something else. Like the letter O is difficult because it looks like a 0. So I'm going to use P for price. And then I'm going to go through and I've got my English statement, and I happen to know that if I try to use my handy dandy highlighters after the fact, it's going to get a lot harder. So I'm just going to give myself some space here. And I've got 1/2, which I'm going to write as 1/2 as a direct translation. Some people would say, well, what about 0.5? 0.5 would be fine. Of, the word of, it's a little tiny word in English, but in math, a lot of the time it's a multiplication. And then I've already told everyone, look, P is going to stand for price. So then I can just, instead of writing the price, I can write P. Now, I could also simplify this. When I have two things multiplied together in math and they're not both constants, I can go ahead and just kind of smash them together like that and write 1/2 P. There's another way to do it. I could also write it as, if you want, P over 2. And then, of course, I'm going to put in the notes. I would absolutely accept 0.5p, switching to decimal rather than fraction. That's up to you. I think a direct translation, you could argue the 1/2 is called for, but I would accept either. So however you'd like to do it, woohoo! And the difficulty with making videos is I'm explaining a lot of things. You may be looking at this going, wow, you're going so slowly, or wow, you're going so fast. I'm just trying to find that middle line. But if I am saying things and they're not making sense, please connect with me, email me. text me through Pronto, come to my office hours, all those wonderful things. Ask me questions if some of this is just like, wait, you said something and it didn't make any sense. Okay, next up. Ooh, this one, I'm going to use all of my colors now. The sale price is a magical number in math, 1/2 of the price. So I still have of the price. Let me go through. There's my green. Let's see, here's my of is right there. My blue is 1/2. And I don't have enough colors for this. I just realized. So we're just going to have an imaginary color right there. So I've got the sale price is 1/2 of the price. Now I think there are two things I don't know, sale price and price. So if I let P equal price as I did before, I need a new variable. I'm going to say S for sale price. Now, I'm being kind of informal here. I will point out that it is really common for declaring variables that you actually use the word let. So right here, I would put the word let. That's a very formal way to do it. And I'm saying, you know what, as long as you're telling me what your variables stand for, we're good. Now, you're not just doing this for me, you're doing it for yourself. Sitting down and actually figuring out what the variables represent, maybe you may be looking at this going, oh, it's so obvious. And I hope it is. I hope it's really, really clear here and you're feeling like, okay, I can totally do this. But as you move up, and my hopes for you are that, if you want to take calculus, if you want to go into science, if you want to go into business, any of the fields that will require calculus is going to make variables a lot less clear. So practice now, get good at it now, so when it really starts to get a little weird, you've got the tool set you need. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. The sale price, S, is, and then I'm going to do a lot of things Dora style, Dora the Explorer. I'll say, what goes in the yellow spot where the is? You're right, it's an equals. Usually in English, whatever the verb is, that is frequently going to be an equals sign in math. Okay, and then let me see, I need my 1/2, and I need my of, and I need my price. There we go. 1/2 of the price. So this is going to give me, now you'll notice I'm using arrows. This is can be formally used in math. I'm using it as a transition because this big thing already has an equals in it. I don't want to put another equals to connect. So some people like to leave a space. I want to do the arrow so that the notes are more clear, hopefully. S equals 1/2 P, or any of the variations, P over 2, 1/2 P, 0.5 P here. Now, how do I feel about boxing? Well, personally, I'm kind of small and pretty fast, but not. I am pretty scrappy, but boxing generally is out for me just because I'm not a big fan. But in terms of putting boxes around things, I think that this is perfectly clear. However, I know a lot of students really feel more comfortable, like the problem is finished when you put the box around it. So you can choose to leave the answers unboxed or boxed, your choice. Okay, let's go on with some more reminders. 1.1 hopefully is all review. You're looking at this going, oh yeah, I got this. Because, one of the best things in math is to be in a math class and be thinking, I totally know how to do this. So percent should always be converted to decimals in algebraic equations. Absolutely, no question. 5%. So if you remember how to do this, I don't know if you remember, when you've got the percent, you take that number will be bigger. You start with where the decimal point is in 5. It goes right there. And then you move it back 2 spaces. 1, 2. If you have any spaces that are not filled with numbers, put a 0 in. So I get, and I'm going to be a little confusing. I can't help it. Math teacher, I put the beginning 0, that initial 0. You don't have to. You could leave that out. But you should have 0.05. I want to do, let me do another one just because I feel like you're not here, but just in case this is not clear, let's start with something like 160%. That's a lot. That's the thing plus another half of the thing, whatever we're talking about. So I'm going to write the number as it is with the decimal point where it would be, and then I'm going to move it back 2 spaces, 1, 2, and I get 1.6. That's the decimal that corresponds with the percent. This is the percent, this is the decimal. And then if I did something like 53.98%, then I would write, okay, 53.98. I think this one's might be the easiest one because the percent is, the decimal point is already there. So we just move the decimal point 1, 2 spaces, 1, 2, there we go. Happy little decimal. Oh, happy little decimals everywhere. Again, I write the initial 0 because I'm a math teacher and we're supposed to. It's very formal, but a lot of people don't, including some math teachers. So it's up to you. Oops, sorry, there we go. Haha. Okay, that's page 1. Hopefully everyone survived. Let's move on to page 2. 1.1 is pretty fast, so I'm going to get this all in one video. Yay! Okay, so ratio and quotient are really weird words sometimes. They've got a lot of shish in them. Are other words for fraction, and whatever gets mentioned first goes in the numerator, while the other value goes in the denominator. What the heck am I trying to say? Well, I'm trying to explain. If I ask you for the ratio, now if you see the word ratio, I want fraction. Now, technically speaking, the word ratio specifically describes a certain situation. In this class, we won't really go into that. But if you have any questions, please come talk to me. But if you do see something that says the ratio of something to something, you're going to put the one that comes first in the sentence, A. The one right after the of goes on top. The ratio of A and B goes on the bottom, like that. Woohoo! And this just, sometimes I'm going to write things just because they make me laugh. The quotient of x and d, which is the number of ducks. I love that for some reason we're doing math with the number of ducks. That's awesome. So quotient, again, means fraction. It technically means division, but in algebra, we write our division as fractions. So that might explain a lot why people are generally a little bit wary of fractions, is because they're not really what they are. They're actually kind of secret division. So the quotient of x and d, x over d. Okay, another point. The quantity or the total of are used to denote parentheses. 5 times, now I've got to be honest, I'm explaining this to you because this is in this book and I have not seen this before. So this kind of threw me for a loop too. I have almost exclusively seen the quantity, but given that I was born in the 1780s, you know, I'm probably just too old to know. So 5 times the total of x plus 6. Let's take a look at this. 5 times, so I'm going to write 5 times, and then I am going to give myself the total of, there's some blue. Okay, so the total of is going to give me the parentheses, and then x plus 6 is going to go inside. So whatever comes after the total of goes inside the parentheses. So this whole, oh, you know what, I should use yellow, high contrast, handy dandy, yellow. Hello, happy yellow. This whole thing goes inside. That makes sense? Now, it turns out that if you've got, again, you got multiplication, you can just smash those two things together. And frequently when you go from one line to the next and the two things are equal, you will start the line with a equals. Some people also use the arrow in this case. I feel comfortable either way, so whichever you like. Congratulations, we made it through our first video. I know, I'm so excited. Woohoo! Many thanks to my Paisley turtles and my handy dandy highlighter pens. I hope you have a great day. And, you know, woohoo, math on. Woohoo!